bit. I'd rather get him right, but for the rest of the stretch drive, we're really going to need him against the high-powered offenses in this league, especially him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See, should pull up. Let's see. All right, it's in there now. Okay. All right. We're not being broadcast to our YouTube audience. I was wondering why that was a little low.
Okay, there we go. All right. Yep.
Okay. All right, so Spencer Brown being limited, that does not matter to me as much. Keon Coleman being limited, like I really don't feel like these guys. Like I don't know if we necessarily need any of these guys to come back. Now, will it be nice? Yes. I do. I want to see Keon Coleman come back for sure because I mean Keon Coleman is he's our rookie. He's a big kid at heart. I know he's dying to play in the snow game, so
Mm-hmm.
why not, right?
100%.
Um, so yeah, I would like to see these guys get back. Um, there are three injuries actually. The three guys with the IR next to him. I love to see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Carter coming back from the wrist injury. Tylen Grable coming back from the groin. He's going to slide into that. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
slide into that. Into that swing tackle role, and
Yep.
then Matthew Milano will be coming back. I am extremely excited about seeing Matt Milano come back because he, you know what type of time Matt Milano's on. Matt
Yep.
Milano's on demon time, right? Anytime
Mm-hmm.
he
Yep.
plays, he is a monster. So he's excellent in the run. He's excellent in run defense. He's excellent in coverage. You know, yeah,
100%. It's
yeah.
gonna. What a shot in the arm it's gonna be for the locker room, for just for the defense in whole. I mean, just him coming out of that tunnel on Sunday. Ooh, that's gonna. I can already hear. You're gonna be there. You're gonna see it in person. You're gonna hear that roar when Matt Milano comes out of that tunnel. Number 58's there, and
Listen,
you see him on
I'm
the
gonna
field.
lose it. I'm gonna lose
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna lose it.
Yep. Yep.
I already know I'm gonna lose it because this has been this is his first game. This is his first game that he's played since week 5 last year.
Yep.
Wow.
It's a lot of football to
And
miss. You know he's chomping at the bit. You know.
imagine being an all pro level player for the team that drafted you and having to watch AJ Klein play your position in the playoffs and your team lose by 3 points.
Oh. He's like, you should have went on vacation, man. That should have been me playing that game.
I know he can't wait to get out there.
Yep.
But so it's gonna be good to see those guys back. Uh Curtis Samuel, Taylor Rapp, Casey Toohill, Dorian Williams, all Daquan Jones, all Matt Holland, all of these guys practicing at full with a full level, no limitations. Amari Cooper, Kyan Elam, Terrell Bernard,
Awesome.
who we thought, might have tweaked his might have got might have got hurt. What was it? Not last game. I think it was the game before against Indianapolis. I think he went out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quentin Moore is coming. Like all of the guys, man. This is the difference between every other year. The Buffalo Bills have uh, been in contention for the Super Bowl, right, or to win the AFC. Uh, Usually around this time of the season, we are losing guys. This is the time of the year where we're seeing a bunch of injuries to really solid contributors, if not stars on our roster. Now you see the injury list. Like we're getting these guys back. It's gonna be it's gonna be nasty. It's
Yep.
gonna be very, very nasty. Um, but real quick, um, I'm gonna we'll you give me a second, and I need to pull something up
Sure.
for I need to pull a few things up for Mr. Matt Milano. I want to show the people. I want to show the people some things. Um, but yeah, so Matthew Milano, man, God, just getting him back is going to be crazy. Ooh,
Whittle, we spoke about this the last couple of years, right? And sometimes in sports, you need a little bit of luck, right? And I'm not
mm,
saying it's the only reason something happens, right? But the last couple of years, with the Trey injury on Thanksgiving, the the Von Miller injury on Thanksgiving, we had such back-breaking injuries at the wrong times, and then losing our entire linebacking unit, right?
right,
It's just, it's just. But now this year, we're going the other direction, right? Where we had some injuries early, we had some issues, but knock on wood, we just continue to stay as healthy. I mean, listen, not every team we're not going to be 100% going into the playoffs. I mean, that's almost an impossible ask in this sport, right?
right,
But I mean, just look at the list. Like you said, we have only one did not practice. That's Dalton Kincaid. That's incredible right now. This time of year, we got a great placement on our bye week. And again, if we could just get through these last several games unscathed, Whittle, if we could just get another bye at the end of the week, at the end of the year, let's say that Patriot game doesn't mean anything, right? We could ball cap Josh, Mitch Trubinsky, do your thing, right? And let's say we
right,
get 2 weeks off. Imagine if we have other guys that are injured or something get banged up, we get them right for the playoffs. I mean, that one seed is so big now in the NFL because only one gets it. That's it. It's not even two anymore. The 2 seed used to be fine. Now
yeah,
the one
you're
seed is
right,
just so big. But
you're
but
right,
above anything, if we just get a bye week at the end of the year, just get another week to rest, I think that's something we have not been given a luxury that the Chiefs have, and I don't think the average fan understands how important that really is. Rest.
right.
It really, really is.
No, you're right, man. You're right. I want to bring a couple of want to play a couple of plays for the people.
I love it. If you missed it last week, Whittle was in the toolbox last week. We were going through some plays. It was an excellent segment, so we really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not actually doing any of that this time. This is more so going to be
Mm-hmm.
just kind of what we have to look forward to uh over the next when this young man gets back.
Attack you, and they're very protective of it. Tannehill empties the backfield on 2nd and 13. As pressure grows, he's intercepted.
He's so different. He's different in coverage, man.
Matt Milano, pick six, Buffalo.
He is different in coverage, man.
Yep.
He's different.
That just makes such a difference, Whittle.
Eric Henry
Yep. There he is, top of the screen.
Career 200-yard
Yeah.
game, the all-time.
Just the anticipation,
He's everywhere, man. This guy's
Mhm.
he's everywhere. He's so good.
Down. Trying to get 10, 12 yards.
And you know what else? He frees things up for our other linebackers too. So
Yep.
right, because he's covering some other parts of the field.
Jones takes the shot.
Could make it Dorian Williams with a
Intercepted.
right?
It's Matt Milano.
So, and I think about all the experience that he's got.
Sideline and taken down at the 40-yard line. They tried to strip him at the end.
I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. What you got? You know what? I don't think I realized the importance of Matt Milano and how until we just went. Until I saw those sound bites and just thinking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like you don't realize how good you have it until you don't have it anymore, right?
Yep.
That's the thing that everybody says. You don't realize how good you got it until it's gone. And
Mm-hmm.
he makes our defense better, man. He really does.
Yep.
He makes our defense a lot better. So, it'll be good to have him back. And it'll free up Terrell Bernard to kind of roam a little bit more. He can be more aggressive, and if you were in tune with the draft before we took Terrell Bernard, uh, one of the things that he did very, very well at Baylor was blitz. Like he was very, very good at getting home, busting run plays up in the backfield and getting to the quarterback. He is very good at that. So this allows him to do a little bit more of that. I think it makes our run defense in the nickel a lot better because Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano as linebackers are so instinctive. They're going to be able to dissect where the run play is going and exactly what gap they need to shoot in order to to stop that run play. So
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be very fun. This is going to be extremely interesting. Um, you know, Chief fans beware. We're coming.
Yep.
We are coming for the AFC title. And Raven fans, we want that. We want to spin the block on that one for sure. Like we
Yep.
want to spin the block on that one,
Yep.
guaranteed.
Yeah. We want you in Highmark in January.
Listen, Highmark, M&T Bank, Rose Bowl Stadium, high school field.
Yes,
We
we
could play
do.
in Atlantis. We could play in Atlantis.
Yeah.
When we got our second level defenders out there, it's curtains. Okay? Make sure you bring your travel bag so you don't have to fly back to Baltimore to pack. Pack your stuff for vacation when you're on your way.
Yep.
Your season ends when you come to Buffalo this year, Baltimore.
That's
It
right.
ends. For sure. It ends.
Let's go.
Yeah, back to this game at hand. Uh, you know, I think it's a very tall task for the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they're able to overcome it. And this will push Buffalo to 10-2. The Chiefs this week have a divisional game against the Raiders. The Raiders aren't a good team. They have a really tough, really really bad record. They're headed to an early draft pick. But last year the Raiders beat the Chiefs. In one of their games. So if the Chiefs were to, for some reason, go down, um, we would be the one seed, which is kind of what we want, right? So, um, yeah, man, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that Baltimore game, or to San Fran. We got the Rams next week after that, and then the Super Showdown. The Super Showdown is in Detroit. And listen, I don't want to say this too loud because she's in there and she's listening. Might be able to swing that Detroit thing. I just like the ticket.
Ooh.
The ticket to the game is the
It's
only
gotta
part. Like
be.
I gotta figure out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
might be able to. I might be able to swing that, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me stop because she might pull this up on YouTube and watch it. So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble, guys.
I'll stick up
I don't
for
want
you,
to get in
little. Don't worry,
trouble.
I got your back. Don't
I
worry.
appreciate it, man. That's why we're a team, brother.
That's
That's why
right.
we're a
That's right.
team.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Division round McDermott after bye week. That's what I want too. And that's another thing, Whittle. We'll pivot to that. It
To what?
is November 27th, right? And
Yep.
the season has been stretched 17 games. It starts later. I only say that because I remember when I was a kid in 1988, the Bills clinched the AFC East on November 20th, 1988, when they were 11-1. Now, the
Right.
season was shorter, right? But it was still the same impact, right? I'll never forget that. It's the first time I ever saw us win the division ever as a kid. We tear down the goalposts, all that. But we pivot to now, 2024. Dolphins lose tomorrow night in a cold Green Bay. And if the Bills take care of business Sunday night, we are hanging our 5th consecutive AFC East championship banner in a year that was supposed to be a rebuild, in a year that was supposed to be a 9-win, 8-win year at best, in a year we were supposed to be looking up to a couple of our rivals in this division as almost statements of facts, as we heard all summer. Not too shabby, Whittle, right? Not too shabby.
Well, I'm a little confused because historically this is not supposed to happen unless Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl. It's never supposed to happen where a team wins a division 5 years in a row without going to the Super Bowl. So, being that we haven't been to the Super Bowl yet, history should tell us that the Buffalo Bills, by virtue of winning this 5th division title, should get to the Super Bowl this year. And I don't know about anybody else, but I know this team here, we have this kid at quarterback. I don't know if I can call him a kid anymore because was he 27, 28 now?
28 years
Yeah,
old.
so yeah, he's past the kid stage. We have this young man, that wears 17. Um, as much as the type of person that he is, or the type of person that he uh shows us
Yeah.
he is, right? Family oriented guy, low key, quiet, very he gives you that small town blue collar feel, right? You know, um, and he's great in the community. There were photos of him with some disabled children earlier, or from the bye week. He's quiet. He's not the rah-rah guy. You don't see him on Instagram, with chains doing, dancing on planes and things like that, like the other quarterbacks. You don't see any of that stuff from him, right? Extremely low key. He's out there, just kind of living his life and doing his thing. And
Yep.
I know that he loves the game of football. I know that he I know that he really likes being in Buffalo. He never wanted to go to a major market. He wanted to go someplace where obviously he wants to win and compete, but it outside of the weather, I think it kind of reminds him of where he's from, right? Small town, Northern California. Um, and this is I think he's Northern California, right?
Yeah.
Fireball.
Fireball is about 3.5 hours from where I live, and I'm in
Okay.
southern. I would call that central
Okay,
California.
so
Kind of like in the
Central.
middle. It's like he's kind of 3 hours from San Fran, about 4 hours from LA. He is truly Will. When I tell you he's in the middle of nowhere, I'm telling you he's in the middle of nowhere in
Okay.
California. It's like
Right.
their town has 2 stoplights. That's it.
Are you serious?
Yes. Josh Allen talks about it. They have like 3 or 4 restaurants in the town. That's it. I don't know if you remember. He did a great segment with who's the woman on Sunday night? Marie Taylor. What's her name? She's always on Sunday night with Dungy, and she's on
Um,
with Dungy and
I
Jason
don't. I
Garrett.
don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
Marie Taylor. Yeah,
I'm
but
watching the
she did
game,
a
man.
segment with
Yeah.
Josh where he was at the stadium.
Okay.
He was talking about his hometown, and it's just it is. I drove through that area before, Whittle, and it's all farms. I mean, it's pistachio farms as far as you can see. I mean, that's 50% of our fruits and veggies come from California, and you can see why in
Wow.
that part of the country. That's why California is so important to this country, by the way, is that we get a lot of stuff from there. And I saw a billboard when I was there last year, Whittle, of the Allen family on display because I think they have a huge pistachio farm up there
Mm,
in that region. So
okay.
they're legends up there now, especially.
Of course. Of
And
course.
who comes from?
And I'm sure they're all Bills fans out there.
Yeah, I mean it's incredibly small place. So he grew up on a farm. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting some of his family in 2019, Whittle, and I could tell you they're as real as you can ever imagine. Like, and I sense from meeting his mother and sitting there talking to her, it was 2019 opener against the Jets. You remember
Mhm.
when John Brown caught that touchdown? We were down 16 in the fourth.
Yes.
Josh threw that touchdown to John Brown in the corner, and we
Yep.
came. Yeah, that's the game. Oh, it was awesome. Like, but just speaking to his family, and you could just see like But the one thing her friend told me, he is the most competitive human being she's ever known. This is the friend of the family.
Right.
Chess, checkers, video games. The guy has this quality that, you know what I mean? He will do anything to win. And you see it every single week in the way he walks on and off the field, especially on the field for us.
I'm glad you made mention of that, because if history is correct, and we're going to win our 5th division title in a row. That's happening. Like that's happening, right? If history is correct, if history is not a liar, then the Buffalo Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen understands the history of this franchise. He understands, he knows about the four falls. He knows about, the early 90s. He understands how close this franchise was to having at least one championship, right? At least one. I don't think he is willing to lose if the Bills are in the Super Bowl. I don't care who they're playing. I don't care who we have. If 17's out there, I'm taking Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's Detroit. I think Detroit's a great team. I like
Yes.
Detroit a lot. Like I enjoy watching Detroit play football. We did a
Yeah.
pod earlier in the offseason with the guys. They're Detroit Lions fans. We'll be talking to them in a couple of weeks
Can't
as
wait.
well.
They're one of our best.
Great
Yeah.
guys, super smart. They understand football. They understand what it's like to have a really good team and star players and not ever get there and not ever get it done. So they understand that. I don't even think Detroit's been to a Super Bowl, right? They haven't even been.
They have never participated. Isn't that crazy? I mean,
Right.
well, if I would have told you 10 years ago with going to time machine that Buffalo and Detroit are going to play in the marquee game of the year, what would you tell me? You're nuts.
10
Right?
years ago, I don't know.
Yep. Oh, we got a prediction. Bills and Philly. Whittle, I think that's my prediction right now. That's my prediction right now. As of this moment, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills because I just think Philly can win anywhere. I don't think Detroit. I think Philly with their running game and the way that they play, it doesn't matter if they're indoors. Like I'm not worried about them going on the road.
What worries me about Philly is the pass defense.
Mm-hmm.
You basically got two rookies starting, playing significant snaps in the secondary. While the linebacker play has been better recently for Philly,
Mm-hmm.
it's not what Detroit has at linebacker.
True, and
It's not.
they did just have a big injury to their linebacking group. The longtime guy Brandon Graham is out for the year, so that's a big loss for them.
Right.
That's
So
gonna be tough.
and that's the other thing. Like, I mean, I know Bryce Huff. I think Bryce Huff is out as well. Um, I just feel like with Amon St. Brown and with Amon Ra out there, uh, Laporta. I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's going to be extremely tough for Philly to stop
Mhm.
that quick game. I think it's going to be tough.
Yep. This is the thing about Josh Allen. I agree with Dale on. If it's the last week,
Yeah.
right, and this guy, he said it. He said, I forget what podcast it was, Will. He said, if the Super Bowl's the last game of your career and you have to do whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes to win. If you told me
Yeah.
I had to retire because of an injury after that game, and if he won us a Super Bowl, he would do it right now.
I believe it.
Wow. I mean,
No, I think Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen in the Super Bowl is like, I think he's like Thanos with the entire glove,
he'll carry the ball
like with
20 more
all
times, to
the
be honest with
Infinity
you.
Stones.
Right? Yeah.
He's so difficult. He is so difficult to defend right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I I watch, you know, when you turn on your favorite player's highlight reel and all these different things, and you say, "Oh, well, you know, this guy's great." A lot of these guys kind of do the same thing. I watch Cam. Listen, I watch Cam Newton. Okay, I watched Michael Vick. I watched Steve Young. I watched some Elway via, when Elway was, when I was old enough, when I was watching Elway, I was a, kid, and he was towards the end of his career already. But I've seen a lot of great quarterbacks, man. And there is no quarterback I have ever seen that can play the game the way Josh Allen can. Cam Newton was great. Cam Newton's nowhere near the passer that Josh Allen is.
No.
He never was. Um, Michael Vick was awesome. And I think Michael Vick is probably the closest comparison from a talent level of having the big arm, being able to make every throw, and the ability to just run the football. Um, but his game never reached the level of where Allen's game is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Allen is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. He might be the most talented. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback of all time. He might be
Mm-hmm.
the most talented quarterback
Yep.
to ever play the game of football.
Especially from a all the attributes together, right? When you
He's
combine,
6'5", 250.
he is.
He can run away from you. He can run through you.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this highlight of him against Miami, and he breaks containment, takes off running, tries to shake a linebacker at first, and realizes I'm never going to shake him because
Mm-hmm.
he's too close, and I'm not going to be able to avoid him. So he takes his offhand, puts it in his chest, and pushes the linebacker into the ground and keeps going. Who? Come on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That by the way, he's the same guy that can then line up on the very next play and throw a 60, a 50-yard, 40-yard dot to his wide receiver in double coverage. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, Whittle. There's certain players in sports that change a lot of things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
strange comparison, but I'll do a football one too. But when Tiger Woods arrived in golf, he changed everything, right? Just the
Yep.
far he could hit the ball. They designed golf courses differently because of him, right?
Yep.
Now I know Tiger Woods, and then Rob Gronkowski is another guy that comes to mind. That big, huge ton, and maybe not so much Rob, maybe Tony Gonzalez. There's certain players that change how you think about tight ends, right? Now you see these tight ends that are 6'7", 6'8", and all this athleticism, right? Josh Allen has changed what GMs are looking for in terms of a quarterback. More than Patrick Mahomes, believe it or not. And I'm not saying Allen's better than Mahomes. I'm just saying I think Josh Allen has changed the way scouts and GMs look for quarterbacks more than Patrick Mahomes. I firmly believe that because of the size, right? The ability to run. Like everybody's looking for that, quote, unicorn quarterback,
Yep.
right? Because
How many times do we hear it?
yeah,
Beyond, how many times do we hear it on draft night? The
yeah.
comparison.
Will Levis, right?
Yeah.
Trey Lance, right?
Yep.
Heck, we've even
Yep.
heard Daniel Jones say, "Oh, well, there's a little bit of Josh and Daniel Jones." I mean, yeah, it's everybody, right?
Those are the three.
Everybody's looking for
Those
that
are the
Josh.
three guys.
Yep,
Those are the
Anthony
three guys. Yep.
Richardson, another one.
That's four. They do it every year. It was
Oh, and
Daniel
there's going to be
Jones.
more. Yep.
It was Daniel Jones. Then it was um you just said him. Jesus.
Oh, Richardson, Trey
No,
Lance.
Trey Lance was it was Daniel
Yeah,
Jones
remember those
first.
commercials they did with him?
Trey Lance, yep. Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
Then Anthony Richardson, what's my other guy's name? Will Levis down there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
All of these guys are like Everybody's looking for that guy.
Josh Allen's
Everybody's looking for that guy.
he's gonna get a lot of GMs fired, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's strange because they're chasing that. You just can't. We talk about all the time, Whittle, right? Remember when the Rams came to fruition with Kurt Warner? I remember our old GM Tom Donahoe back in 0405 was trying to make us like the Rams. Only one problem. If you don't have Marshall Faulk, if you don't have Kurt Warner, right? If you don't have Torrey Holt, it's a little problematic to emulate that. Isaac Bruce, right? It's a little hard to emulate that exactly. It got him fired, right? The GMs and coaches that are ahead of the trend or set their own trends are the ones that are mostly successful in the league. That's what I feel. So, I mean, now the trend's going to be the big running back. You watch, because now we've seen Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley on what they're doing, and now you're going to see some of these teams start shifting to that, and then by the teams shift to that, then you're going to see the return of different defenses, and then the team that gets ahead of it with the passing game is going to be the one to kind of break the trends. Fascinating when you think about the history of football and how that works.
Now, speaking of football, and we're talking about these elite level skill sets. We got to talk about some awards, right? Let's talk about the MVP. Where do you stand? Who do you think the MVP is? Because right now there's 4 guys. To me, well, I'm not. No, there's more
3.
than 4.
Well,
there's more. I think there's about. I would say. I think you can put 5 people on. I think you put 5 people in that list right now.
Who are your 5 right now?
Obviously, Josh Allen.
Yep.
Jared Goff.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. And
you got to put
Lamar
Lamar
in there.
You have to. His numbers aren't good.
The problem, the only issue with Lamar, for me, they're a wild card team right now. I think they're sitting with 4 losses.
Yeah.
You don't win an MVP if you don't win in your division.
You know what's crazy about Lamar Jackson? This is probably his best season. He's probably not going to win MVP.
It is.
Isn't it? Is that wild? Like, he has definitely taken a step up. And you said it when you went to the game. That always stuck with
best.
Yep. And it's weird.
Looking at and I go after Ravens fans from time to time just because we have a good relationship with a few of them.
It's fun to go at them too.
We have fun going back and forth with each other. Shout out to DJ Juice, Shard, the rest of them boys, King Push. Like, shout out to y'all,
good
man.
fans.
We go back and forth. But I gotta shout out to the Barbershop Podcast too. We did that with them. My man Trey out there. Shout out to you, sir. We go back and forth, talk about each other's quarterbacks or whatever, and it's funny. But looking at a stat sheet really doesn't explain. Like, you really don't get you really don't get a good feel of Lamar Jackson's impact to a football game, right? Like, with Josh Allen, okay, with Josh it's simple, right? Josh is going to drop back, and he's going to make throws that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he even tried it and completed it. I can't believe he got it through that window. Or he takes off and runs, and it's like, he just hurdled the guy. I can't believe he did that. You see it because Josh hasn't had a ton of help. Like, this is the first year Josh has had receivers that are this good after the catch, offensive line and running back combination that have been this productive. This is the first time that's happened for Josh. So you see it more because the team was so dependent on Josh Allen's offensive prowess or his skill, and just kind of breaking every defensive coordinator's equation. Breaking every math problem these coordinators were trying to solve where he was concerned. Like he breaks it, right?
Yep.
With Lamar, it's different because there are players around Lamar that are talented and they are
Yes.
utilized in his offense. But man, like if you go, like you gotta go see the Ravens play and you gotta see Lamar just work. It's hard to explain, man. Like I understand why people say like, it's just something about him. It literally is just something
Yep.
about Lamar Jackson where you're like, yo, he's a dog. Like his teammates, they love him. Like
Yep.
they'll run through a wall for him, right?
Yep. Oh
The
yeah,
fan
he's
base,
a football junkie too. I mean, by all intents and purposes, he eats, breathes, sleeps football. Like he really.
bro. Listen, I don't think Lamar Jackson can go anywhere in the city of Baltimore and pay for anything.
No.
I don't think he can. There's no way that he goes to a restaurant to sit down to eat and the bill gets there and somebody there hasn't taken care of it. There's no way.
Yep.
There's no way.
Totally.
He's so good. Like his command of the offense is so good. His ability to slip out of situations where he should not really be getting out of it.
Yep.
He really shouldn't.
Yep.
But he just does anyway. He's so good.
He's
so
something
good.
else. Yeah, he's earned.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always respected Lamar Jackson, but I feel like all those questions. I mean, he's always going to have those playoff questions. I mean, heck, even Josh has questions like that. And his numbers are great in the playoffs, right? Until wins are wins, right? In the playoffs, you got to stack the wins. That's just the way it is.
I don't allow.
Right or wrong.
I don't know. Wait, I don't know. I don't allow people to question Josh Allen's playoffs.
No. But you know what I'm saying.
We can't do that anymore.
All I'm saying is the more he wins, the less that noise will just go away, right? Same with Lamar.
Yeah, but this is for anyone here that's listening.
Yeah.
If someone questions whether or not Josh Allen is good in the playoffs, or if Josh is the reason why the Bills are being held back, educate them, please.
Yep.
Josh Allen, you're gonna hear this too. This was a popular one in the offseason. Josh Allen is a wild card game merchant. Let me tell you, Josh Allen has one loss in the wild card. One.
Yep.
The rest of his losses have come in the divisional round. And his loss in the wild card game, I think his statistically was probably his worst playoff game. Either that or the Cincinnati one. But be that as it may, there's a touchdown to interception ratio in just the playoff losses. 21 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He's got over 2,000 yards passing. He's I think his completion percentage is a hair under 65%. His quarterback rate is like 90, 89, somewhere around there. Actually, no, I think it's 94. Let me. I'm not gonna look it up. But you don't hold me to that number. I think it's like somewhere around like 90, 92, 93, 94, something like that.
Yeah.
These are in the losses, guys. The losses.
It's amazing. Yeah. I don't want to hear
He's a dog,
that stuff.
man. He's a dog.
We know it. But, we all know, I'm talking about, listen, the court of public opinion, which is sometimes not accurate. It's just there. We're just going to hear it until he knocks it down. And that's why I tune it out, because those that know who Josh Allen really is in the playoffs. So, I'm not worried about a lot of that outside noise, because that's just how fans can be. I mean, that's what they're looking for, ways to bring you down, and that's what they do. Whittle, I just wanted to about the NFL MVP. It's defined as the player who is considered to have contributed the most to their team's success during the regular season. So that's what I want to focus on right now. We know that doesn't always pan out in the vote, right? So what player? I kind of do this exercise. I agree with you. I have Josh. I have Saquon Barkley. I have Goff. The Hurts one is interesting, but I do think him and Barkley could cancel each other out. I don't know if Hurts has the numbers, even though I think Hurts is should be a guy should be there. I just think when you look at some of the other QBs, I just don't think he's going to get high enough in that vote.
He's definitely on the out. Like he's out. He's
Yeah,
not on my
but it's an
top 3.
interesting call because I do think he's
Right.
very valuable to the Eagles. But
Yeah.
like, just kind of take away, okay, Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson. Okay, you put a mid-level QB or mid-level running back on that team, just replace one of them. Are they still a good team? Like if Lamar
They're still a
Jackson
good
gets
team.
like a solid
They're a
QB,
good
just say
team,
Kirk
but it's
Cousins,
not.
like,
Yeah, it's not what
yeah.
it is. It's not. Yeah.
Now, is that difference bigger for the Ravens, or what if the Bills lost Josh Allen and had just a mid-level QB? What's the drop-off compared to the Ravens?
If the Bills lost Josh Allen, they would win 7 games.
7 or 8.
Tops.
Maybe McDermott grinds out 8 with the way he plays, that kind of thing. Sort of
Well,
like
the
that.
defense is still good. They're going to turn
Yeah.
teams over. They're going to get favorable field position.
Yep.
Cook or Davis or these guys are going to – somebody's going to bust a big run. We'll win a couple of games, 17-14, something like that, 17-13, whatever.
Yep. Now, what's interesting, now Saquon Barkley, I'm a big Saquon Barkley guy. He's a Penn Stater, so I'll always love Saquon Barkley. But if the Eagles had a solid running back, and they've had him in the past, they would still be pretty effective running the football, correct? They would still be one of the best. But how could you ignore Saquon Barkley if he sets the all-time rushing record? How do you ignore that, right?
Right.
He has just been absolutely amazing. I think there's just – those are my front runners. I would say – I don't know. Josh Allen could be hurt by things like Sunday. 30-mile-an-hour winds maybe, blizzard, possible 6 inches of snow. That's going to cut into his numbers, right? It just is.
No.
But is Josh Allen about numbers this year? He's not really about numbers. Is he the most valuable player? Does he do the most for the Bills in relation to success? If the Bills go 14-3, is Josh Allen's the number one reason by a good amount why that team is 14-3, right? Jared Goff, as good as he's been, Detroit's loaded. Everybody knows it. Right? And I think that's what's going to hurt Goff. But it could come down to that game, too. I just think there's so much going on. I think the MVP is going to come down to that game against Detroit in a few weeks. I really do.
Yeah. I let me say this, though. Normally, I would look at this and say, yeah, Josh could be hurt by Sunday, the weather and all this other stuff. But then again, I think about the fact that Josh is gonna run the football, guys. Like in the snow, he's gonna run the football. And if he runs the football, it's gonna be very tough on the United States deal. The quarterback is always the +1, right? He's always the one guy that teams usually don't account for. So even though maybe he won't be able to throw the football as well as other quarterbacks may have an opportunity that are not playing in that type of environment or weather environment, he's still going to be. He may get he may get 2 rushing touchdowns. He may get 2 rushing touchdowns and throw for 1 on a screen pass or something like that, or a swing pass to Cook and defender slips or Cook makes a miss or whatever, or to Ray Davis or Ty Johnson, he just run through a tackle and they score, or maybe he hits Kincaid or Dawson Knox on a big one, or Keon Coleman, or Shakir. Like these guys are great after the catch, so a screen pass could be a touchdown, especially in this type of weather. I think Josh is going to be fine. I think he's going to really benefit because of the way this offense can run. And something that was brought up earlier, I was on YouTube listening to some of the some of the different Bills coverage. One thing that I think we don't talk about enough is not only is the offensive line great for the running backs, Josh Allen's only been sacked 13 times. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, teams are not even getting to Josh Allen. Like, we're getting the ball out quick because we want to, not because we have to. On third and long, Josh's average time to throw shoots up from under, what is it? Under, 1.5 seconds to nearly
Mhm.
3 seconds. He holds the football and he can. And
Mhm.
he can sit there and figure out, you know, where he's gonna go. And what was so surprising is when he was able to do that against Kansas City. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm watching him like, Josh, clock's got to be going off now. Either get rid of it or run. And he's just sitting back there patting it and looking and, you know, all right, okay, Sammy, okay, there we go. We'll throw it. Like, come on. If we're doing that right now with the offensive line that we have, and that was without Spencer Brown. If Spencer Brown comes back and Tylen Grable gets activated, we're talking about a starting line of Deion Dawkins, who should be an All-Pro this year, David Edwards, who's played an excellent. I mean, he might be the best left guard we've had since Josh Allen's been in the league. McGovern's playing a great. He's playing really well at the center spot. Osiris Torrance is coming into his own. Had a really good game last week against Chris Jones, in my opinion, who's the best defensive tackle in the NFL.
Mhm.
And then Spencer Brown was out, so that's your five: Ryan Vandermark, uh, Alec Anderson, Cedric Van Pant Granger, and
Mhm.
now Tylen Grable's coming back. Those are four young guys that can step in and play. And we haven't now. Granted, we have not seen a lot of VPG. Understood,
Yeah.
but I've seen enough of Grable to say, great. Listen, Grable beat Vandermark out in the preseason. Like he was going into the season as the swing tackle. Vandermark has that spot because Grable got hurt. Grable's coming back. We're good, guys. Like we're good on the offensive line front. And they protect Josh Allen, who's already elusive and tough to sack. He's the hardest quarterback to sack he's been at for the last couple of years. Now you're giving him an offensive line that's going to sit there and allow him to sit back and diagnose what's happening to him over and over and over and over again without worry of, a pass rush or whatever.
Mhm. Yep.
I don't know, man. It's going to be tough.
Mhm.
The Bills are looking like a tough out, man.
Absolutely. So, leading to this Sunday, right? So,
Yes.
again, this is a game that, when we thought about it early, Whittle, I figured this would be one we'd be deep diving into, going through tons of X and O's. But again, this is a game where, injuries have really changed the complexion. So, score prediction time. Haven't done one in 2 weeks. It's time to put it
Yeah.
on the table. You got one for me, Will?
Yeah. Buffalo 27. I haven't even thought about this, to be honest. But I'm gonna say Buffalo 27, 49ers 13,
Okay. I think
16.
that's about right. I'm going
Yeah.
29-16. I'm going with a crooked score because the wind could be a factor, the weather could be a factor.
On
We
the
see some
kicking, yeah.
changes.
Yep.
But general, maybe we make some of those twos, we miss one or two, but I like us to pull away. Again, as long as we contain Christian McCaffrey, I mean that guy's a beast. We know what he could do, right? But still, as long as we keep him in a relative normal number, he's gonna run, he may rack off a couple longer runs and whatnot. But as long as we keep him to a relatively good number, I think we'll be just fine on Sunday night.
I'm going to change my score prediction if I'm allowed.
Of course
If
you
I'm allowed to
will.
change my score prediction. Okay. Give me the Buffalo Bills. 36-13.
36-13. Wow, you're going for the 30 per 36.
The
Wow.
Buffalo Bills have scored 30 more times than anybody else in the league so far this year.
Yeah. Yep.
I do feel like it's going to snow. I don't know how much is going to snow during the game, though.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's kind of an unpredictable forecast.
Right.
I'm not sure if the winds. I'm seeing winds up to 15 miles an hour. I've heard 30 plus. They're talking, but 6 inches of snow for Western New York is really not that big of a deal. I mean, you should
Right.
not. You shouldn't have major issues. I mean, just be careful. But you know what I mean. You're not going to have major. You're not going to be snowed in, Whittle. I don't think you're going to be right. I don't think you're
No,
going to
yeah,
be
we'll be
stuck
fine.
at the
Yeah,
Mafia
we'll be
house all the
fine.
time. You'll be good to go. So
Now, this is and the reason why I changed it is because I went back and watched the Niners against Seattle. Now, I do another pod on Saturdays with my buddy Jay Mick, and
nice.
we do it for DC Red Zone, the Commanders guys on Twitter, and we talk the NFL. I had the San Francisco 49ers losing to the Seattle Super Seahawks. That was my upset pick. And my upset pick the week before was well, I mean, I can't remember it was, but I've been getting my upset picks pretty accurately, right?
Yep.
I've been pretty good at those.
Oh yeah.
I think I went back and watched that 49ers um Seahawks game, and they missed a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
They missed a lot of tackles. The Buffalo Bills, you can't miss tackles.
No.
Like if you miss a tackle on Shakir, he's gonna score. If you miss a tackle on Cook, he's gonna score. Like if you miss a tackle on Keon Coleman, and that mind you, you know, these are physical players. Keon's very physical. Ray Davis is very physical. Shakir can play physical. Um, Hooper, Cook, Dawson Knox is a physical guy. Gordon Kincaid is physical. If you miss a tackle on these guys, they are going to score.
Yep.
Curtis Samuel, if you miss a tackle, he's healthy now. He's got the speed to score on you if you miss a tackle. And we're going to put the ball in play fairly quickly with screen passes and quick out routes, things like that. If you miss a tackle, we might score.
Yeah.
I like Malik Mustafa, standout safety, rookie out of Wake Forest, plays for the
One of your draft
49ers.
crushes, Whittle. I
One of my
remember.
draft crutches, yeah.
Yep.
He's played really well for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also 5'10" with short arms.
Yeah.
If you miss a tackle, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah. Yep. Absolute.
So yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah. So we've been at it over an hour and 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
any last comments before we adjourn on this Thanksgiving Eve?
Go Raiders.
Go
You know,
yes.
go Raiders.
Hey, last week
Just win, baby.
I called it in our space last week. I said the Browns are beating the Steelers. Called that.
You did.
But this week, I can't go that far with the Raiders. I mean, as much as I would love to see it, and we saw it in the past, I just don't think the Raiders have enough to even, especially on the road in Kansas City. I just cannot see it. If I had an upset special this week, it would be the Titans over the Commanders. That's my upset special this week.
Will Levis has looked a lot better.
He has, but he still has that nasty Nate Peterman habit.
Yeah.
The interceptions that are critical. He's got to get that under control. If he does it, he won't be long for this league. I don't care how good he is.
Yeah,
he's got to figure that out somewhere along the line.
I think he will. I mean, that's my guy, man. I'm a ride for him.
You remember Matt Schaub for Houston?
Yes.
He was kind of like that too. Just he would have some really good games, and then he just would. I mean, I remember he had a streak of throwing interceptions, return for touchdowns. That's almost unmatched, right? So that's the one thing I just got to see. But you're right; they just got to keep going to him. But we know that Tennessee defense is real. We know what they could do. So, and again, I love what the Commanders are doing, but I just have a feeling they're going to dip a little bit second half of the year here.
You can go to the Houston Jacksonville game for $17.
There you go.
This Sunday. Wow.
And also, let's go Eagles this week too. I'd like the Ravens to lose. I just
Yeah.
that would be another nice one as well.
Yep.
For the Bills' point of view.
Let's go Eagles, man.
And
go
let's
Eagles.
go
Get it done.
so we can wrap up another division championship on Sunday night.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So we want the Packers, the Eagles, and the Raiders to get it done.
Yeah, that would be a great 3-team parlay. It would pay a lot of money too.
I love
take
it.
the money lines, but we'll take it, Whittle.
Yeah, we gotta tap in with Neffy and Jake and those boys, with the parlay. They have a great show that they do on Sundays, and make sure your tickets are together, guys. So tap in with Do Champions, man. We're gonna educate you, we're gonna entertain you, and we're going to make you some money.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely. So as we wrap it up, just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
To all our listeners out there, to everybody in chat, we're thankful for you. You guys are always you're always great. So this show is nothing without you. So you keep coming in and you give us some great comments and some great things to think about. We really appreciate it. And keep watching us. More bigger and better things are on the way. Whittle, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours as well, man.
Absolutely.
We'll talk.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Have a great weekend.
Have a great holiday.
You too.